Okay, here's the scuttle vent from the taxi. This sits right on top behind the bonnet underneath the windscreen. This is where basically your fresh air comes in for your heater and your vents. Now I took my heater apart recently and there was a lot of muck and gunge in there, so I thought I'll add a filter or some mesh. So as standard, there is no mesh or anything in the holes. So I've added some on here. Just helps to obviously stop flies and leaves and muck and stuff getting down into your heater box and rotting everything out. So I'm just going to show you how I do this. I've done half so far. The reason being is I don't have a sheet long enough to do the whole thing. I just do it in two halves. But you'll never see that because it's underneath. So essentially underneath here, first time I've ever taken this off anyway, so it's not painted underneath obviously. I've just used some of this stainless steel mesh, like the stuff you use for fiberglass in and doing rust repairs and bridging and that sort of stuff. Good thing with it, it's nice and pliable. So it's thin, pliable, easy to bend and shape, easy to cut, and stainless steel, so it's never going to rust. So essentially, got some on this sheet here I've cut for other jobs, and I've marked this up in red. Now I'm going to put it up against this little lip here, just up against this. Just seems a nice edge to go to. I'm going to cut out across that red line there. That gives me wide enough to cover the opening. And then what I did on this side, I used the well, anything you could use, a screwdriver, edge of some scissors or something, just push down so that this mesh is flat with the surface. And then I went sort of in and out each of these just to give it a little bit of shape so it sits in nicely. And just go around it with a hot glue gun. I mean, you can use any sort of adhesive, silicones, epoxies, whatever, but they're a lot more messy and take longer to go off. A glue gun is easy and it goes off in seconds. So just run a bead around the edge just to glue the mesh to the back of this little panel. And it's easy. This took me about 5 minutes. So for those of you that have never done it before, I was just going to show you. I mean, you can apply this to any vent, filter, or anything you want. People do them on back of grills, don't they, to give them that sporty look or whatever you want to do with it. This is obviously has a practical application to stop muck and dust getting in through my vent. Yeah, and it looks pretty good. Looks just like it would have been from the factory, so I'm happy with that. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this second half and to show you how I do it. So as I showed you earlier, I've got the red line is where I want to cut it to the right width, and I'm literally just going to use this pair of scissors and cut through it. So here we go, that's cut. It cuts very easy with scissors. So I'm going to put that in there. I'll obviously have to put the camera down to do this, but I'm going to use the edge of the scissors, the plastic then, to basically rub up and down here to get this to sit flat against the metal. And I'm going to go in and out there, each of these, and in the indentations of the vent and the piece in between, just to shape it, and continue all the way around so it's nice and flat. It'll give a good tight surface then, so we can go around with the glue gun. So I've gone around it. As I said, look, you can just see the indentations there. So just did that with the back of the scissors, plastic edge. I'm going to get them back into position now where they've marked. They'll hold themselves in position. And I'll get the first bit of glue on and go from there. So yeah, I've just done the first lip there with the glue gun. Basic glue gun with a glue stick, very cheap, easy. And I'm just going to continue up the side here. I'm going to do it off camera because it's hard to hold it, but I don't need to teach you how to use a glue gun. But work your way around the edge first. Nice and flat. I've made a couple of little cuts here, purely that when I push it into shape it just goes in nicely there. So I'm going to continue this round with the glue gun until it's all done and show you the end result. So there we go, I've just finished gluing this section in here. So the two halves are in. So you'll never see the fact that it's in halves anyway when it's in position, so that's fine. I mean, if you can go up and down here as well if you really wanted to glue it strong, or if you're worried that it was going to come off, or if you were using this like on a grill or something in an area of high impact at the front of the car or lots of vibration, you could go over this with some epoxy or silicone as well on top. I mean, the glue gun is nice, quick, easy to get it into position. So if you wanted to reinforce that with another adhesive after, then absolutely fine. I just find this the quickest way with a glue gun. It literally takes a few minutes and it's set nice and firm. This is absolutely fine for me. Like I say, it's on the top of the scuttle, so there's not much movement there, no high impact, so that will be absolutely more than strong enough using the glue stick. And if we turn it around, the finished product, I think, looks very good. And can't really go wrong for that. So this is just a little bit of pen mark, this will come off. But yeah, that's like a factory piece. You know, people pay lots of money for fancy grills and mesh and things like that, but you can do it yourself, cheap, easy, quick, just by using some stainless mesh and a glue gun. Yeah. Hope that's inspired you to have a go yourself. Yeah, back in place and looking good.